Hey y'all, I'm taking a break from DeFi Kingdoms today and I'll be sharing with you a new project that I recently got into called Police and Thief on the AVAX blockchain. I am intrigued with the potential to make a passive income from this game, with it being fun and exciting with some elements of game theory involved. Decisions. The game is currently going through a transition from phase 1 to phase 2. To share this opportunity and updates on the new phase is extremely timely. So you decide if you want to take action. Police and Thief's vision is to become an NFT staking hub. Think of a combination of NFTs and DeFi. Basically, you can stake your NFTs for rewards. It's based on the popular Wolf game on Ethereum, which has done so well. I've always wondered what the differences are, and if enough people are interested, I could do a deep dive on it. It could well provide more insights to the potential of the game over a longer term. To start playing, you need to decide if you want to play the role of a thief and/or the police. You are only able to buy them from the secondary market as minting has concluded in phase 1. You can find them on NFT Trade, and I'll leave the link to the marketplace in the descriptions below. Once you've got your NFTs, then you can come to the game's website and you can start staking your NFTs for rewards. This will commence when phase 2 goes live. I'll now go through the mechanics of how both the police and thief works while highlighting the changes going into phase 2. There are two key changes for me. One, generally the NFTs will earn bribe instead of loot. You can then stake bribe to earn loot. Both single site staking and LP will be available. Second, and the bigger update in my opinion, is this. All thieves will begin with the same ability to earn bribe as in phase 1. However, in phase 2, loot can be used to upgrade the sneakiness level of your thief, and a higher level means that that particular thief can earn more bribe. The sneakiness level of the thief also equates to the rarity of it. There are some things that stays the same in phase 2. For example, bribe still needs to be paid to the police when a thief unstakes or claims their bribe. The percentage though is not yet determined, but in phase 1 that was 20%. Details of point 3 and 4, which was applicable in phase 1, has not yet been confirmed as the developers look to optimize gameplay. There has been some speculation that there will be a requirement to stake thieves for 2 days before any upgrades to sneakiness level can be done. I'll be looking forward for these details to be finalized. The police's mechanic stays relatively similar to phase 1. As earlier mentioned, point number 1 applies with the percentage yet to be determined in phase 2. The key thing to note with police is that the alpha value matters a lot. It equates to the rarity of it and how much bribes the police is able to earn. The higher the alpha value, the more that it will be able to earn. You'll be able to have a look at the alpha value in the properties section in the secondary marketplace. The lowest alpha value is a score of 5, with the highest being 8. Point number 2 is not yet confirmed for phase 2 as well, and for point 3 it will no longer be valid as minting has concluded in phase 1. I understand that there's a few moving pieces here that are yet to be confirmed for phase 2, but my personal assumption is that they are going to be very similar to phase 1. The bigger aspects of the updates have already been disclosed as shared earlier. 10,000 loot per day looked like a lot on paper, and I initially thought that the thief was going to earn more than the police. But of course, I was proven wrong when I did my first claim and realized that this was due to the very limited supply of police available. In phase 1, there was only a 10% chance of successfully minting a police, making the total supply of police only at 7,075 out of the total 50,000 NFTs. The bribes from all the thieves are then shared amongst the significantly lesser pool of police. Do also note that police are not susceptible to paying for bribes when they claim their rewards or when the NFT is being unstaked. Assuming similar mechanics in phase 2, the police should continue to earn more than a thief. Therefore, it's to no surprise that a police costs more than a thief currently. The third kind of NFT available is the Police and Thief Game Club, also known as the Wolf. The utility is not established yet, and it was meant to show appreciation for early supporters of the game, and my personal speculation is that the first utility could be to give these holders first access to the staking vaults in future when they are available. Let's review the approximate earnings and the utility of the rewards. With reference to the price chart, the all-time high for loot was at 4 cents. Aligning the timelines, this was probably driven by people buying loot to mint Gen 1 NFTs. Using one thief as the baseline, it earns 8,000 loot per day, which equates to $320. Realistically, price average at about 0.004 cents, which equates to $32 per day, and in my opinion, the dip was caused by a profit-taking exercise by Gen 0 NFT holders and early Gen 1 holders. Price stayed at this level, noting that minting was the only primary utility for loot, and there was little incentive of doing so because the floor price of the secondary market for a thief was comparable to minting. Buying off the secondary market simply means that there is no risk of your NFT being captured by a police, which means that you are safe from your NFT or your mint going into someone else's wallet. The lesser and the only people attempting mint and therefore buying loot were those who wanted to try to get their hands on a police at a lower price versus the secondary market, which was significantly higher. At that time, I certainly was wishing for more utility for loot, and I had questions as to whether people will adopt the game enough for the price of loot to appreciate. Other than selling your loot for profit, you can also stake it in the vault for more rewards. This can come in the form of AVAX tokens, Joe, meme, time, or spell. Also, as we wait for phase 2 to come live, the founders have made a loot AVAX liquidity mining available, and at time of launch, the APR here was approximately 5,000%. For the fact that we are transiting into phase 2 meant that all 50,000 NFTs were minted, and it was done ahead of expectations, and I'm definitely glad for that rate of adoption. Updates to phase 2 also had my wish for more loot utility fulfilled. In phase 2, the last 2 billion and maximum distribution of loot will be unlocked. There will be no more game post phase 2, and the project will transit to a staking hub and DAO where your NFT rarity and loot holdings will have a significant influence. For example, the developers are considering having your NFT rarity determine the rewards earned in the staking hub. And with the option to be able to increase your rarity now by upgrading your thief's sneakiness level, this creates a critical and practical utility for loot. With the limited supply of loot remaining plus this practical utility, I believe the demand of loot will increase, therefore increasing the price of loot. Your actions now have an impact beyond phase 2. In conclusion, this is how I am approaching phase 2. 1. I'm waiting for full details to be announced, especially those in relation to sneakiness level upgrading, as it has influence over other decisions. For example, whether should I be focusing on upgrading one thief or all of my thieves. I'll also be curious to know at which level can a thief potentially earn as much as a police. In the meantime, I'll be doing my best to leverage the poor market conditions now to buy the dip on loot. The more loot you have on hand now equals more of a head start when phase 2 goes live. That's my experience thus far and the key updates for phase 2 of Police and Thief. Phase 2 is not live yet, so if this is your cup of tea, getting in during this transition makes sense. Furthermore, as earlier highlighted, loot is currently at a discount. Subscribe to my channel now as I continue to share my strategy in maximizing passive income as more details get finalized and when phase 2 comes live. Thanks for watching.